Most people are wandering through their life unconscious. So here we are. Today I wanted to share a little something about change and transformation. I know we live in a world where there's a lot of information, there's a lot of resources, there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of experts, and everybody's got their approach, their perspective. And I wanted to share something really simple today that for me gets to the heart of what change really is and cuts through all of the noise, all of the nonsense, gets rid of all of the use of kind of tricks and tools and hacks, 3 easy steps. Like, forget about all that. Let's get into the real essence of change, and then what we'll be able to do from there is to approach things like practices and schedules and routines and techniques from the very heart of change, which is actually us. We are the instruments of change. So any tool or trick or technique we use at best is there to support and facilitate what we naturally are here to do. When it comes to change, what a lot of people often think about is a new choice. You know, you got this information, you got an idea of a better diet, a better exercise workout, or a lifestyle choice, a direction for yourself or your business, a new way of communicating. And what often happens is we get this new information and we can't implement it, we can't put it in place, or if we do, we aren't consistent with it. And so it kind of begs the question, well, why? Why, if we want something, we want a certain change, are we not able to follow through? Well, a couple of reasons come up. One is transformation and change cost. There's actually a cost involved. Anyone who tells you differently is trying to sell you something. So for us to change, we actually have to be willing to be different in life. We have to be different with life, and we have to be willing for life to be different for us. In other words, if we've been keeping things small and contained and slow, and we've been maintaining a kind of comfort zone for ourselves, change is the stepping out of that. Any learning and growth is going to involve a kind of discomfort because we're stretching outside of what we're used to. So that's something that we just need to understand. And so then, if we want to talk about the most important ingredient in change, it's a willingness to pay the cost of what that change includes. The moment we're sincerely willing to pay the cost of what change means and the implications of that change, there it is. It's right in front of us. We start to make those changes. But I wanted to get into the nuances of that choice, because it's not just us in our normal ways of being and thinking choosing something different. Something precedes the choice to do something different. Your behavior's been used to maintain your comfort zone. And now you're going to make a conscious choice to do something that brings you outside of that comfort zone. And there is a choice that happens before the change in behavior. A quiet, nearly invisible choice was made inside where you said, I'm okay with being outside of this comfort zone. I'm okay to lean into a discomfort that's included in me moving in a new way in my life, moving in a new direction. So what I'm guiding and pointing you to is this idea that if you wake up in the morning and you feel tired and you don't want to face your day, if you're making your way in your routine through your day and you find these convenient, familiar ways to not show up, to not take care of business, to not do the things that you know are good to do, that as soon as you don't need life to be comfortable or familiar anymore, that doesn't make the conscious choice for you, but what it does is it opens up your awareness to the choices that are available. Most people are wandering through their life unconscious. They're not tuned in, they're not present, and they're not consciously choosing the things that they do and the trajectory and direction of their life. I think of it a little bit like being on a highway, and we have things that we do a lot. They're like a really big 6-lane highway, and it's easy to travel, and it's kind of tough to get off. There's like traffic to navigate to get off. And if there's another pathway we want to take that's different than the one we're used to, that's different than this big 6-lane highway, then we have to find the exits. We have to find a different choice. But if we're not willing to be in the unknown, if we're not willing to step into discomfort, if we're not willing to do some work to develop new habits and new directions for our life, then we'll never even notice the exits. But the moment I actually say, I don't know if I want to be on this easy street anymore. I'm actually interested in seeing what else life has to offer. As soon as we're willing to be with the challenge, the cost, or the discomfort that getting off of this easy way, this easy street might include, our awareness starts to open up. We start to notice these off-ramps. And at first we might kind of notice them as they pass. Kind of look and, oh, there it goes, and oh, you didn't get to it in time. But each time you make a choice to be with life in this more open, receptive, responsive way, that has a willingness to be with all of life, not just the easy, comfortable, familiar stuff, you start to notice these opportunities to make other choices earlier. They start to become more obvious to you, and you start to orient yourself in a way where now you see the opportunity and the choice in time to make it. This is how transformation actually happens from the inside out. It always starts with an opening and an expansion of awareness, a willingness to be with a fuller cross-section of life. Just letting it be there, not first trying to change it, not trying to make new decisions, but just being with life. And then the pathways, the off-ramps start to present themselves, and we can start to take new routes that we don't know very well, routes that maybe have narrower, tougher paths, routes that cost us our comfort. And we've all felt it. We've all felt like just going through the motions. And we've all also felt what a lot of people call a flow state, where we're fully present, fully open, and everything is unfolding in this incredibly beautiful, joyful way. Now, that is the kind of quintessentially open awareness that we all have access to. And flow states are just an experiential reminder of why it's such a good idea to explore and invest in this more open awareness. And so then what I'm able to do from that place of a more open, present awareness is I'm able to make a new choice, like this. No, not like that, like this. So here we are. I had a shift of awareness. I had a time where I got to slow down and really look at what was happening, and from that different state of presence in my life, new choices started to show up, and I made those choices. Now, most of the changes in life are not so simple as shaving our beard, but the same principle applies. And the reason I start with this shift of relating, the shift of how we are being with what's going on in our life, is because if we don't start there, what we'll easily do is we'll put new choices in place as a kind of coping, or as a kind of way to get off the hook of what's hard about life. We can easily trade one vice or one coping mechanism for another. The conscious present choice I'm talking about is actually a place in us where we're okay with life as it is. It doesn't need to change. And in being with life as it is without it needing to change, we start to see all of the ways that it can change. That's a different motive. It's not to avoid something. It's not to try to get something. It's not a transaction. It's not a coping. It's an authentic expression of our desire to create something new. Our intrinsic desire that we all had when we came into this world to move forward, to grow, to evolve, to make possible something that hasn't been possible before. So whatever you're up to right now, whether you want to lose some weight, whether you want to quit smoking or change some kind of habit in your life, you want to start a new routine, you want to create more success in your business, You want to deepen and strengthen the bonds and relationships in your life. All of it really fundamentally comes down to, are you willing to be with the current circumstances of your life and to make peace with them, to be warmly befriending of them? And then from that warm, open, inclusive place, what will naturally occur is you'll start to see all of the incredible, beautiful, meaningful opportunities you have to make new choices, to create new possibilities for yourself and for your life. So I hope that made sense. I hope you enjoyed the journey with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to sharing more. I'll talk to you soon.